Unmatched reliability, flexibility, security, and throughput at scale. These are the non-negotiables of high-performance networks today. With intelligent space systems leading the charge in connecting the globe, the possibilities for innovation and transformation are endless. And O3b mPOWER is at the core of that. Watch with us as the next pair of O3b mPOWER satellites roars into space. The 9th and 10th O3b mPOWER satellites will scale the 8th satellite constellation already in operation at medium Earth orbit, 8,000 kilometers from the Earth's surface, unlocking increased capacity and bringing enhanced network efficiency to the system. As the market demand for MEO services continues to soar, our bolstered fleet empowers even more governments, enterprises, and communities across Asia-Pacific, Africa, the Middle East, and the Americas, solving connectivity challenges, driving digital inclusion, and enabling next-generation AI applications.
With the addition of these two powerful satellites, our O3b mPOWER constellation continues to set standard for global connectivity. O3b mPOWER satellites are the most powerful, technically advanced, flexible constellation in space. Our O3b mPOWER services are in high demand, and we're eagerly waiting for this new two pair of satellites to strengthen our MEO network. These two new satellites bring incremental capacity to scale up services provided by our second-generation MEO system, enabling us to meet the evolving needs of our customers around the world. Since becoming operational in 2024, our O3b mPOWER system has been successfully serving our mobility, government, enterprise, and cloud customers around the world, bringing critical connectivity where it matters the most. Our key customers include many cruise lines, fast-growing airline customers, NATO, government in Luxembourg, government of the United States, and many other allied governments. I'm very proud of our SES team and partner teams that continue pushing boundaries of what's possible in space. Thank you to Boeing for building these powerful satellites, and thank you to SpaceX for our continued partnership. Let's watch the launch.
30 seconds.
At T-minus 30 seconds, all systems are go for the launch of Falcon 9 and O3b mPOWER.
Seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. Go Falcon, go mPOWER.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
MOD chamber pressure is nominal.
At T plus 30 seconds and counting, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Pad 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, carrying the O3b mPOWER payload. In just a few seconds, we'll throttle the engines down in preparation for max Q, which is the period
Power and telemetry nominal.
Period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. This is a critical moment during flight because the combined stress
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
The combined stress is caused by Falcon 9 accelerating through the atmosphere, and the ambient static pressure are at their greatest.
Max Q.
There's the call out for max Q. Now, the rocket typically needs to go 17,500 miles per hour horizontally in order to avoid being pulled back down to Earth and get into orbit. So, if you like, you can track our progress to orbit by watching the left corner of your display that's showing Stage 1 telemetry. Now, we have several events coming up in quick succession, and we should hear all of these called out by Mission Control, starting with main engine cutoff, or MECO, then stage separation, SES-1, and fairing separation. MECO is where we shut down all 9 M1D engines on the first stage. Stage separation is when the first and second stages of Falcon separate from one another. And then second engine start 1, or SES-1, is when we'll light the MVAC engine on the second stage for the first time. Less than a minute later, the fairing will then jettison from the second stage, as it's no longer needed to protect the payload once we're in space. So let's keep an eye out for these events happening back to back in about 20 seconds from now.
Main engine cut off.
Stage separation confirmed.
We should be hearing that call out for fairing separation in just a few moments from now. As mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to retrieve these fairing halves once they fall back down to Earth. They'll be taken to shore by our ocean recovery vessel, Bob.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And a great call out for fairing separation. So we are T plus 3 minutes and 38 seconds into today's mission, and we're currently in the first of 2 planned MVAC burns for satellite deployment. The next major milestone is coming up at T plus 6 minutes and 13 seconds, where you should see the first stage's entry burn on your screen. For the entry burn, we'll relight 3 of the M1D engines, starting with the center E9 engine, followed shortly after by the E1 and E5 engines, which slows down the vehicle as it passes back into Earth's atmosphere. You'll be able to follow along with that relight with the graphics along the bottom of your screen. We use that re-entry burn to slow down to reduce the re-entry forces, which helps us recover and reuse the first stage. SES has collaboratively designed the O3b mPOWER satellites with their long-standing satellite manufacturing partner, Boeing. O3b mPOWER is built on the proven track record of SES's O3b constellation of 20 MEO satellites. The first-generation MEO system, O3b, has been delivering high-performance communication services since 2014 to customers operating in nearly 50 countries today. SES has been deploying the second-generation O3b mPOWER services worldwide since April 2024, with the system's core infrastructure deployed, tested, and in use on a global basis. Reusability is the key to lowering the cost of spaceflight, and the Falcon 9's first stage that is supporting today's mission will perform this entry burn for its 6th time. It previously supported SES's mPOWER mission back in December last year, NASA's Crew 10 mission, SpaceX's Bandwagon 3 rideshare, and 2 Starlink missions. During the entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing its Merlin engines, but the vehicle is still moving really fast. This causes it to fly through Merlin's exhaust gases, which are also known as the rocket's plume, and deposits a layer of soot on the vehicle surface, which is why our flight-proven vehicles look the way that they do. That soot comes from the carbon-based fuel that Falcon 9 uses, and with each flight, the soot builds up a little bit more on the outside of the vehicle. Oftentimes, prior to launch, you can see some of that soot from prior flights on the first stage.
Stage 1 entry burn startup. Stage 1 FTS is saved.
And there was the call out for the entry burn startup on the Falcon 9 first stage. This burn is set to last about 25 seconds and again is slowing down the vehicle in preparation for its final burn and landing.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
And there was a great call out for the entry burn shutdown, the completion of the Falcon 9 first stage's entry burn. Coming up next will be SECO 1, or second engine cutoff, in less than a minute, followed by the first stage landing burn. The Merlins on the first stage are optimized for sea level, and these achieve 190,000 pounds of thrust during ascent and descent. The MVEC engine on the second stage, however, has a much wider nozzle.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
And is optimized to 120,500 pounds of thrust and vacuum. Coming up next, we'll start our MVEC engine shutdown on the second stage, followed quickly by the landing burn on the first stage. We can expect
Stage
SECO
1
1.
transonic.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
MVAC shutdown.
We're now coming up on the landing burn for the first stage.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There was the call out for the landing burn start on the Falcon 9 first stage, and this is the final burn that this booster will see before touching down on our drone ship. Just read the instructions.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there you saw and heard the call out for a successful landing of our Falcon 9 rocket. This landing marks the 6th landing for this booster. We're now just waiting on confirmation of good orbit for the second stage. Now the mission isn't over just yet. The second stage has 2 additional burns prior to payload deploy. That said, we will not have views of payload deploy due to the size of the payload adapter. So we're going to end our mission coverage here. All of us at SpaceX want to give a big thank you to our customer SES for entrusting us with today's mission. We also want to give a shout out to the Range and Federal Aviation Administration for supporting today's launch. And thanks to all of our viewers for tuning in and for your continued support.